Good people of YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Today, we actually got a little bit of a different review. Today, we'll be doing a review on the CAT or SpectreCat or Combat Application Technologies AlleyCat 36. This is their 9mm PCC suppressor. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about with this thing, so let's get into it. Now, this review is going to be interesting because not only is this my first suppressor review ever, this is going to be on a suppressor from a company that I've spoke a lot about, not necessarily here on YouTube, but I've spoke about it on social media. Well, for one, just to kind of keep you guys in the loop, I don't really do suppressor reviews. I kind of steered clear of doing suppressor reviews because suppressors are kind of one of those things where it's a little bit more than just a metal tube per se. There's a lot of geometry, a lot of science, you know, maybe some chemistry that goes into making up these suppressors. And I'm not that guy that's going to break down a suppressor's makeup, you know, the geometry behind a suppressor, you know, the 50,000 ways it can blow you per se. I'm not that guy. So I've kind of steered clear, but that being said, I do own quite a bit of suppressors. I shoot suppressed pretty much exclusively at this point in my life. And after getting asked from pretty much everybody in my circle or people that I know on social media and stuff like that, hey, you know, when are you gonna do a suppressor review, or when can you, review my favorite suppressor, blah, 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 whatever. I say, you know what? I am a consumer at the end of the day. Even if I do YouTube, I am a consumer. So I'm gonna talk about these suppressors. And like I said, CAT was one of those companies that I really didn't want to hop on their train. Didn't really see the hype into the suppressors, mostly because they had some questionable marketing strategies surrounding their company and their company structure as to how they release cans or how they do with cans or whatever the case may be. I really wasn't a fan of. Now, when it comes to marketing, people have been trying to play it off like, oh, marketing is whatever and it doesn't really mean anything. And sure, if you want to be that person, that's cool, you know, don't care for marketing. Look at it as how some people say they separate the artist from the art, and that works sometimes, but sometimes that can be cringy too. So CAT kind of fell under that bridge for me. And to kind of give you guys some background, I have a marketing degree. When I went to college, that's what I majored in, so I have a little bit of a different appreciation as well as a different outlook as how companies go forward and how they execute marketing. And CAT kind of has the marketing that is a little bit immature, kind of childish, kind of comes off as frat boyish. It's going to be a hit with some people. It may not be someone's cup of tea. And I fell into the other side of that where it just wasn't my cup of tea. So I steered clear from CAT. Didn't really think their suppressors were significant enough to go spend the money or just constantly dick ride like a lot of people do. You know, that's just kind of how I am and really how I thought about this, you know, suppressor and CAT in general. That being said, I am a reasonable man. I am a man of integrity. I'm a man of my word. And I'm what people tend to call, at least people in my friend group, a hater. But it's really in a joking fashion. I'm a hater on things that deserve true hate. I'm somebody that if I hate something or if I don't like something, there's a valid reason as to why I don't like it. And a lot of times when it comes to stuff that I do not like, I have ample evidence, you know, experience or time behind it. I told myself, if I'm gonna hold that stance with CAT, let me at least put my money where my mouth is and buy one of the suppressors. And that way I have a baseline of where I stand in regard to how I feel about CAT. So went ahead, put my money where my mouth was. My FFL SLT, a good homie of mine, he owns a shop. He told me he had an AlleyCat 36 in stock. And I was like, yeah, hold that for me. I'm gonna come and grab it from you. So that's what I did. And here we are now. So now we're here with the review. And this is gonna be kind of a review / comparison because this is not my first 9mm SMG suppressor. I have the Dead Air Wolfman. I have the MG7K Rex Selenium. And my Wolfman is my favorite can of all time. So it was gonna kind of put me in a spot where I was like, well, if I'm gonna buy this new can, let me try out, you know, my Wolfman, my MG7K. That way I have a real comparison of what this can does compared to those. And that was really a question I got a lot too. So hopefully I answer all you guys' questions in this review. So let's talk about a couple of the specs of this AlleyCat 36. This thing is a 7.2 inch, 1.65 diameter, fully titanium, 3D printed or DMLS printed suppressor, 9mm centric, PCC centric suppressor. It weighs nothing, y'all. I mean, it weighs literally nothing. I can toss this thing. It feels like feathers or like paper. I mean, it really weighs nothing. I did pair it with a Plan B mounting device on this thing. So I'm pretty much married to Reardon. I use Reardon on everything. This is their Reardon X Revival Defense collaboration Plan B mount. This one is also titanium as well to pair with the weight on this thing. So it really, I mean, it adds nothing to it. The difference between this one and Reardon's standard mount is that Reardon's mount just has the wrench flats. This incorporates wrench flats and a castle nut wrench section within the actual mount. So I'm probably gonna be buying these going forward instead of the Reardon mounts, unless Reardon just comes out with something like this. But I don't think they would, because obviously it's a collab. But that's how I have it set up. How Cat has it, they have two different versions. They have it where you can get a hub version, or you can get the spooky mount version, which is their proprietary mount. It's left-hand threaded. Some people like them, some people hate it. I know they had some issues in the beginning with that spooky mount. I don't think that those issues are apparent anymore. But like I said, I'm pretty much married to Plan B, so I just stuck with what I knew and I just kept it that way. Now this can is 9mm centric. This is pretty much optimized for a PCC. It is only rated for 9mm subsonic or supersonic ammo, doesn't matter. But you can also shoot 300 blackout through this thing. Subsonic 300 blackout. We got to make that clear. You can only put subsonic rounds of 300 blackout through this suppressor. Do not put supersonic 300 blackout through this thing, because according to Cat, you will destroy and obliterate this can. So like I said, just kind of keep it for the 9mm 300 blackout if you do plan to use it on 300 blackout. But I pretty much primarily shot this on 9mm, so that's where a lot of the data is going to come from on this. So the host I actually shot it on was my B&T GHM9, which, by the way, it is unloaded, it's safe, have everything here, nothing's in the chamber. Make sure y'all see that. Go ahead and pull. There we go. So just showing y'all that, because y'all know how YouTube is. But this is pretty much what I shot it on primarily. I took it to the gun range a couple days ago, and I mean, I pretty much loaded up every ammo that I had. I had Spear Lawman 124 grain, 147 grain, Federal Syntech 150, and I loaded up some mags and I just went straight to work. I mean, I did shoot it on 300 blackout as well, but primarily this is the gun that saw most of the use. The way I even came up to even thinking of buying this can was, like I said before, I have two 9mm cans already. I have a Rex Selenium MG7K and the Dead Air Wolfman. When I shot my MG7K recently for the first time without ears, with subsonic ammo and even with supersonic ammo, I wasn't impressed with the sound. So I immediately was like, yeah, nah. And my Dead Air Wolfman, it lives on my 300 blackout. So I was like, okay, I need a new 9mm PCC can. Why not give Cat a shot and see if my opinions still hold true? So like I said, I just loaded up a plethora of magazines and I went straight to work. And I went into this not, expecting much. I was just like, this can is another hotness for the second, and then that's just gonna be it. But I went into this and I actually shot it. I was pleasantly surprised, really pleasantly surprised on this actually. Now this can has some technology in it that is called Diverge, which is one of 3 different gas mitigating technologies that Cat makes up, or they actually produce into their cans. I think that their 9mm centric cans, or their smaller cans, are kind of getting that Diverge technology. In their bigger cans, which is like their White Bread or their AlleyCat 556 and their ODB, because they have a plethora of other cans. I think they get that surge bypass technology, which again is just another form of gas mitigating tech that they throw through these cans. But whatever it is, it does it really well. I was very impressed with how this can performed. I mean, just this thing pretty much made gas disappear. And for me to say that is crazy because, for one, I'm a left-handed shooter. So it's very hard for me to lose or avoid gas coming back to my face upon shooting. But this can did it. I mean, what it did to the suppressors, or what it did to my host and to the ammo, it made shooting a dream. I shot this thing. I shot the absolute piss out of this can. And it was a dream every shot. I mean, minimal to non-existent gas coming back to me. I mean, that says a lot considering the fact that my GHM9 is direct blowback. So you're gonna get gas regardless because the gas has to go somewhere. But the fact that this can was able to mitigate that gas to a severe level to where I didn't even notice it upon shooting is impressive. And it does it in such a light package, which is kind of what got me into really just eating my words immediately upon firing this can. Very, very impressive technology, and I had to give Cat a shout out for that because this thing is dope. The way that it pretty much just makes any ammo that I shot through it almost hearing safe, to be honest. And that is crazy because 124 grain is not subsonic at all. I mean, as far as in my setups or anything, unless you're shooting like an MP5 SD or an SD setup kind of gun, most of the time you don't get into subsonic ammo range until you hit like the 140-ish, 150-ish, grains of ammo. But even on 124s, this thing was quiet. I mean, I can take off ears and shoot this thing. I don't know if I would shoot that all day. And with that being said, I would always make sure and tell you guys to make sure you're always wearing ear pro, no matter what you're shooting or what a manufacturer says, always wear ear pro. But I did take off some my ear pro to hear how this suppressor manages 124, 147, 150. 147 and 150, night and day. I mean, it's incredible. That thing is super silent. It's insane. 124, obviously, like I said, it's still supersonic. This thing is not a miracle worker. It's not black voodoo or black magic. There's nothing of that nature. There's still some, some tech here. And there is some sound, but it's not as spicy. It's very manageable. You can deal with it for a long period of time, and you won't really kill your ears. At least I'll say that for me. I didn't kill my ears, and that says a lot considering the fact that in my left ear, I'm half deaf. So that says, a bit that I'm able to shoot this thing without ears and not really be bothered by it. Now, like I said before, this can is fully titanium. So when we talk about shooting and heat and stuff like that, you're definitely gonna feel heat faster and a little bit more on these cans that are fully titanium. This is just no exception. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. That being said, I was able to pretty much mag dump 9mm and have no issues with the heat. I was able to touch it to the hand, take it off the, the GHM9, and it was perfectly fine to touch. Now, obviously, when I shot 300 Blackout subsonic through this, the heat happened extremely fast and it was way more hot. But we're talking about a rifle round versus a pistol or handgun round. 9mm is drastically less pressure than 300 Blackout is. So obviously, when it comes to that heat, you're gonna feel it faster and more, it's gonna be more prevalent on those rifle rounds. But even so, it still wasn't that bad. Definitely on 9mm, it was manageable. I could take the can off my GHM9. I have no problems when I put it on my 300 Blackout. I maybe shot 5, 6, maybe 7 rounds of subsonic, and it was hot. I will say that. It was definitely hot, but not that bad, to be honest. So we talked about the specs, we talked about the weight, the size, all that other, whatever. How the hell does this thing sound? That's what you guys are really here for. And I'm just gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you right now, this can is insane. It is incredible. Super duper quiet. What this thing did to 124 grain ammo is ridiculous. 147 and 150, you're gonna laugh the entire time you shoot this thing. Super duper quiet. super duper quiet. Performance is fantastic. The way it mitigates the gas on, like I said, my GHM9 is incredible. I'm gonna post some clips in here. I got them all around, but I really wanted to emphasize what this can could do and how it does it. Like I told you guys, I even brought out my Dead Air Wolfman to the range and my Rex MG7K to actually shoot alongside this AlleyCat 36. And once again, this is my Wolfman. You can see it got some abuse because I use the absolute hell out of this can. This is not no safe queen at all. But I definitely brought it with me to test it out. I mean, just looking between it and the actual AlleyCat 36, they're pretty much the same size. But the fact that this weighs significantly less, it's quieter. I mean, I'll just let y'all be the judge of this. Now, I will say I did try my absolute best to mitigate as much sound in the background as possible, but unfortunately, I don't have my own range. The range that I used to go to shut down, and that's where I was pretty much by myself the entire time. So now I got to share range space with somebody else or other people. So we tried our best, but this is all we got. Hopefully you guys can hear those variances very well. So yeah, as y'all can see, that AlleyCat 36 is a monster. It does absolute work. It's a super duper good can. I mean, it broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It really broke my heart because I had to dethrone my Dead Air Wolfman as one of the best 9mm PCC cans in the industry. I mean, to be fair, to really put it in perspective, the Dead Air Wolfman is 9mm PCC centered. However, this is pretty much a workhorse. I've shot this can on 300 blackout, which is what it lives on primarily. 5.56, 7.62x39. This thing is just rated for a lot of different calibers, and it's such a workhorse. It's heavy. It has that really nice, weight to it. It also is modular, so you can remove some of these baffles. I'm not gonna do it because YouTube, but like I said again, I mean, this can has been my absolute baby since I got it. That being said, unfortunately, I have to dethrone it as a top contender for 9mm because this thing right now is untouchable. I think the nearest or the most, I guess the can that I can similarly put this can against is the PTR Vent 3, I believe, which I think is the 9mm PCC can from PTR. So that is, these cans go neck and neck. That can and the AlleyCat 36, they're pretty much in the race for probably the best 9mm PCCs in the game right now. But so far, I'm thoroughly impressed. I mean, I'm super duper impressed with the fact that I had to reach out to Cat myself, apologize to him for talking all the shit in the world, because I have been pretty vocal about it. But I had to eat my words and, shout out to Cat for being a good sport. Super duper good can. I'm thoroughly impressed. That being said, y'all know me, and y'all know there always are some cons with stuff. So nothing ever gets a pass. Despite this can being one of my favorites now, we still got some negative things to say about this can. Mostly, it's two things. It's the length of this thing. I would really like if this was a little bit shorter. And secondly is the price. This can is not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. To put in perspective, this Dead Air Wolfman of mine cost me about $800 after the stamp and the tax. I walked out the door, I think in the $1,100 range. My Rex MG7K, which is another workhorse, but Rex MG7K, this can is fully metal, fully stainless steel, I believe. It has that raw finish typically, but I got mine Cerakoted black. This can cost me about $450, and then after taxes and the stamp, I think I walked out paying $650. This can right here, $1,300 all in, stamp, tax, everything. And that was homie price, okay? Typically these cans are a little bit more than that. I think they start at $1,300 before you even get into the taxes or the stamp. So again, super duper expensive. I know everybody's not gonna be willing to pay that price. So that's why these conversations kind of come up as to, is the suppressor really worth the price tag? I can say that for me, it was. I definitely am a fan of this can and I love it. That being said, do I think that this can, you just have to go out and buy it? No, I don't. I definitely think that this can is for people who just want the absolute top of the top, the latest in suppressor technology. People who just really are chasing those lines of the quietest suppressor you can find. That being said, I do still think that the Wolfman is still a top contender for a really good can. This one is a little more affordable. Like I said, it's rated for way more calibers. I mean, like I said, this is a workhorse. This is really something that if you needed a one can kind of deal, this is what you would go with. That being said, if we're talking about dedicated suppressors, dedicated 9mm or dedicated suppressor for your setup, this can by far, if you can afford it, if you can swing it, do not hesitate. If you're thinking about going to pick this can up, stop thinking, just go run and pick it up. These things were out of stock for quite some time. I think, like I said, they just restocked the Mob hub compatible version maybe last week or so. But this thing right here, if you can swing it, go pick one up. Go pick one up. This thing is incredible. Like I said, again, I had to eat my words very quickly with this can. And I ate it very quick, so fast that I actually have an ODB now in jail. So that is going to go on my 300 blackout build. And I'm just super duper impressed with this can. Cat has an absolute killer. I think they're in bed with CGS, or they have something going on with CGS. I think CGS produces their cans and they do the other back end stuff. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying I think that's how it is. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That being said, this can is super duper dope. Please don't hesitate to go pick one up. If you're looking at one, if you see one and you can swing that cash, like I said, it's $1,300 starting. It is a little bit expensive. Cat's cans are not cheap whatsoever. The ODB, again, homie price. I'm not gonna tell you how much I paid for that, but this thing is spectacular. If you really can swing it, or if you can save up to get you a 9mm PCC can, look no further than the AlleyCat 36 or the Mob. Like I said, they're both pretty much the same. It just depends on what you can find. So that's why I feel about this can right here. So that's my thoughts on the AlleyCat 36. Hopefully you guys got all the information that you needed. If you have any more questions regarding this can or any can that I'm going to be doing in the future, because now that I did this one, I'm going to be doing more suppressor reviews. And like I told y'all, I'm not the super duper technical guy. I mean, there's people out there that can break down cats or any suppressor manufacturer's technology, or whatever the case may be. I'm just a regular consumer like y'all. I know what I know. and I don't know what I don't. So it's kind of one of those things. Like I said, again, I'm going to be doing some suppressor reviews in the future. Shout out to Cat, super dope people, super good sports. And I can't wait to see what y'all guys, what y'all do in the future. So I'll be on the lookout for that as well. But that's gonna wrap up today's review. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Like I said, if y'all have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. My next suppressor review, could be coming soon. So if you guys like this one, go ahead and like it, share it, all that good shit. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.